What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. Yeah, Luke, we're live.
Oh, fantasy football team, Nakua Matata. I thought that was pretty good. Do with that what you will.
With me, as always, here in the middle, offering some balance to the extremes that are Luke and I, Tyler Davis. Over on that end.
I need people to start changing their names of their fantasy teams. If they have Travis Kelce, they need a Taylor Swift pun instead.
Yes.
Oh, here's your jersey sales update. Kelce jerseys have surged by 400% today.
Wow.
I'm waiting for the viewership numbers of Fox around.
Right.
Also,
3
how
and 5
strange that
PM.
it's like one of the few Chiefs games that's actually on Fox too. Because usually it's CBS. Because we were on CBS and I was like, what?
Yeah. And then Sunday Night Football is the Chiefs' next game, so you know that people are just gonna.
Oh yeah.
Non-football fans are gonna be tuning in just in case.
Who do they play?
The Jets.
Oh.
Yes!
Dang.
It's gonna be a massacre.
Wow.
I don't think Patrick Mahomes has ever played against Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
Yep. That was one of the things going into the season.
That's a fun little nugget. I didn't know that.
That's
cool.
Rodgers was hurt, so Love played. Mahomes might have been hurt, so Aaron didn't play him. Yeah, because he played Matt
Castle.
No.
I don't
Never.
know.
Don't say that. It was the year they won. It was the Super Bowl because it was right after his knee injury, where he dislocated his patella.
Mm-hmm.
And then that might have been the only 2 times they've met. And then this year they're like, Patrick Mahomes can play Aaron Rodgers when he's on the Jets. And then Aaron Rodgers only played for about 3 minutes.
I think it was 4 plays, or the 5th play or something is when he did it.
Over in the
4
chat,
plays, yeah.
Baroque says Aaron just keeps dodging Patrick. And then Game Lord says, my fantasy name would just be I'm feeling 22, because that's about how many points I score each week.
It's a little long, but I like it.
Thank you for those of you in the chat. Thank you for being here. You get to experience something that our audio listeners, I implore you to find the YouTube, go to YouTube and find this week, this episode, because Luke is rocking a great
mustache.
Travis Kelce stash.
Is it great?
It is. I'm loving it.
Should I keep it?
Yes.
Should I show up to work on Friday and be like...
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
I'll try it and see if anybody even notices. I don't talk to people at work usually. So...
Oh,
I
well...
just sit in my cubicle. Do my job.
That's very considerate of you. Well, we are here to talk about a few things today, but to lead us off, we got to talk about a couple new trailers that dropped this week. I've only got 2 listed. I'm not sure if you guys have more that I missed, but the first one being Percy Jackson and the Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
I'll see that one.
I was going to say, I want that one.
I'll watch that one. I'm resubscribing to the no ad version of Disney Plus.
The
for
Mouse
Percy
House.
Jackson and
The Olympians.
and then the Olympians. Yeah.
Olympians. Yeah. So this is the Disney Plus show. What'd you guys think?
I'll go first. I didn't watch it. I just listened to you guys watch it, and no thanks. I'm done.
I think it looks better than what the movie was, but that being said, it doesn't look really a whole lot different either.
It feels
it looks more of the age that I think it was supposed to be.
Yeah. It
but
feels even more YA than
yes.
the 2 films did.
My name's Percy. I'm being bullied.
I think that's a double-edged sword, and that you can have a great opportunity to expand on those characters outside of a film that doesn't have to kind of try and keep a adult's attention. At the same time, if you don't have A-class child actors, you're gonna get real tired of them after episode 3 or 4. You're like, can this just be done already? They're not that. I don't know if these actors are good or not. The trailer didn't give me a sense of, ooh, they're bad, or wow, these guys are incredible.
Isn't the kid from that Ryan Reynolds movie?
The Adam Project?
Yeah.
It's possible.
I think it's that kid. He was pretty good in that movie. He's really good at playing Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's got the range, I think he could carry it. I will say, like, visually, it looks pretty good for a Disney Plus show. I think they've gotten better at figuring out how to make things look good, at least in trailers.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt like burn's maybe not the right word, but I felt like something like Willow. Ugh. Like, the trailers made that show look better than it was.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking. I mean, I'm talking
specific
visually,
yeah.
right? Like, it's like, okay,
they really did.
This kind of has like an epic like sense of scale and feel, and it's like, oh nope, it's just all editing. It's how it's cut and the shots they chose.
There's some really talented trailer makers out there.
Yeah.
I think the thing with this show and shows like it, like Willow, is this isn't young enough for kids, and it's not old enough for like 18 to 25.
Yeah.
And so like the people who read those books as kids are now 18 to 25. And so like I don't think it finds the sweet spot well enough in terms of like the age of its actors, nor its tone. Like I think its tone matches the 18 to 25 and the actors and cast match the 12 to 15 range, and you're just like, I don't know how it will do.
Do they read this in schools?
I don't think so.
Not in schools,
You
but I'm
probably
sure
get,
it's
like,
a
accelerated
popular
reader points.
I'm sure it's a popular book in schools.
Oh yeah, and he's still writing tons of stuff. I mean, he's got a bunch of books coming out every year. I mean, he's still popular.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just I don't know. It's there's definitely an interesting middle ground that I don't think is being tapped into with this, and I don't know how it'll do, and we'll never know because they don't share numbers.
Yeah, true story. So this was a sideways thumb for me.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it was non-impressionable. The other trailer I have written down here, I think I'm the only one who kind of keeps up with Rick and Morty, but is the new season of Rick and Morty. This will be the first season where Justin Roiland is not part of the cast. And it features the new actors, voice actors in the trailer. And they're really good. Honestly, I don't think I would have noticed if they didn't say anything. Like, they couldn't. Like, that's such a big part of the story that you can't get away with that. But at the same time, like, wow, Rick sounds like Rick. Morty sounds like Morty.
They didn't announce who they were either, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat little.
I think that's awesome.
Be a fun little surprise.
Yeah.
But it looks like another season of Rick and Morty. I think maybe one of the worst. This is gonna sound worse than it is, but I think one of the worst things that could happen for that show was that it got like a 7-season extension. Like I think that show lives its best life when it's like, this could be the last season, and we just gonna like, and now they're, it feels a little more formulaic. And that said, the last season was still good. I enjoyed it, and I enjoy a lot of other Dan Harmon stuff. So
didn't he just release another show like Crapopolis?
I will talk about that later. I watched the first 2 episodes of that. So yeah. But Rick and Morty, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a thumbs up. It kept it didn't look bad, and the voice actors are obviously talented and still sound like the characters. So
I think every time a new, mature, terribly animated, in my opinion, show comes out, I die a little bit inside every time. It's just the same thing to me. I watch a trailer for Crapopolis, watching football. I'm just like, wow, we're breaking zero ground with this.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And
that's what I was worried about with Harley Quinn. But then they made it a narrative.
Yeah.
Which was nice. And then I haven't watched season 3 or 4, but I'll watch other stuff. Jeez.
Yeah, the other one I'm thinking of that I really liked, it was actually a Netflix show. It was still fairly I think Disenchantment fell into that pretty quick, actually. It was the conspiracy one.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it was called.
Conspiracy Inc. or something.
Something Inc. That does sound right. Cognito Inc. was the corporation that they worked for.
Netflix.
Crappy animated. No, it's
I almost
he
typed
started
that
to
down. Is it Dan Harmon on there too?
I don't think it's Dan Harmon.
Oh, what was it called? Netflix animated conspiracy show. Inside Job. Yeah.
Oh, so no ink.
Yeah. So, and not that Inside Job didn't. I mean, again, they all fall into a somewhat predictable formulaic pattern, but that one was fun because it was conspiracy theories and it was, I don't know, it
Those are
didn't
fun to
take
poke
itself
fun
too
at.
seriously
Yeah.
and yeah, but
More trailers just
Yeah.
in case. Maybe I haven't watched either one, but maybe you've seen them.
maybe we saw them.
There was a new Hunger Games trailer, I guess.
Oh.
Anybody watch it?
Nope, sure
Okay,
didn't.
well,
I
just
saw
move
that
on.
it was out.
If I
but
did, I didn't realize it was a new version.
You know that
that's
that
fair.
probably makes sense.
At this point, I think there's been enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dream Scenario, it's a new A24 movie with
This
Nicolas
is-
Cage.
I was
Oh,
gonna
that was
say,
the Nick
this-
Cage one.
This does look cool, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
It
Yeah,
looks
you guys watch it?
insane.
And-
It's that end of the A24 spectrum. It's
Yep.
like insanity.
Insanity.
So Demon at the End.
Probably.
Probably.
Demon or like talking animal.
Well, if a talking animal shows up in an A24 movie, it goes without saying it's a demonic.
It's a
animal.
demon, right? Like, it's a demon.
Why else would it talk? It's not Narnia.
Does the thing in Lamb talk? Does the lamb in Lamb talk?
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
like,
good question.
I want more chicken nuggets.
If it ever said anything, the most it would have... I don't think so. Maybe like a mama type of thing, but like that would have been it. I can't remember.
Mom.
I'll have to go
Mom.
revisit that tweet thread when I live tweeted it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was the only one in the theater.
Dude, what an
Great
awesome
experience.
I was
Great.
gonna say,
I
what an awesome. theater
absolutely
experience.
recommend it. Just go watch an insane A24 movie with no one else around. Go to like a 21 and over, get yourself a drink and like some popcorn and just live tweet away.
Dude, when we saw Lighthouse, there was like 7 people, and we were 3 of the 7.
That was fun.
That was fun too.
That was fun.
That's probably the weirdest A24 movie I've seen.
Well,
Yeah,
Either that or
probably.
Minari. No,
we should take an episode to like dissect the A24 catalog and rank at them, or at least talk about our favorites. Or
I don't think I've seen enough.
well, we can change that, Luke.
That's a lot of movies.
I'll watch Lady Bird. That one's been on my list for forever.
Let me know when you do.
Okay.
I need to watch that movie.
All right. Oh, did you have any others? Did you have another one?
Mm-mm.
That was your okay. Well, then we can move over to our kind of main topic. It's gonna be brief. We didn't go watch a new film to review this week, so we'll just kind of talk a little bit
Expendables
about.
really wasn't speaking to us.
For
this
some
week.
reason,
Expendables.
you know,
I feel
unfortunately,
drunk
I
when
don't think
say
it didn't make $4 million at the box office. this
Expendables.
week.
I seriously, like, I feel drunk saying that. Like, I feel like
Expendables.
Expendables. What?
Something we did watch though is the Continental first episode. So
We
this
did.
is a Peacock original.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're NBC or Peacock or whatever. So it's a Peacock original. It's a 3-episode limited series.
Mm-hmm.
We think each episode is gonna be
About an hour and a half.
hour and a half, somewhere in there. The first one was like a solid hour and a half. This is a spin-off of the John Wick franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Takes place
think-
in the 70s
Mhm.
and follows a young Winston who is
In the John Wick movies, he owns a hotel.
yeah,
Spoilers.
not a spoiler. That's
Yeah.
revealed so early in the first movie.
The show's official title is The Continental from the World of John Wick.
Ugh, what a terrible title.
That's like the Pennyworth show. Pennyworth, the story of
The Batman's
Batman's
butler.
or whatever. Like, it's the same same energy.
Wow. Well, what did you guys think about the first episode?
I think Luke's gonna say the same thing I'm about to say. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fun. There was some good action in it. There was also some
Not so good.
not so good action in it.
Yep.
I feel like every aspect it has in it, like story-wise, filmmaking-wise, is like it does it really well at one point, but it also does it not well
I had
this,
said it during the show when we were watching it. I was like, I feel like we have two different like staffs running different parts of the show.
I kind of like, to me, you said that and I was like, this kind of feels like it was done by like 3 or 4 different directors.
It just feels like there's one moment where you're like, ooh, like the beginning of this, the big stairwell fight scene.
Yeah.
Like you're
That
just like,
felt
oh
like
my
straight
gosh,
out of
this
the
is
John Wick movie.
right. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, more John. I think I even said it. I was like, man, I just really like John Wick stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
awesome
Yep.
action.
And then,
like 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh no.
But like even compared to the last action sequence, which is like an editing nightmare.
Oh yeah, that was like, we have $0 left for this scene.
It reminded me of what was the Disney Plus show, Moon Knight, where it's just like, we're not gonna show you the action sequences. But you know what? At least in Moon Knight, it was like a thing of mystery. It's like,
Well, it's part of
he's switching identities. What happened? You
Yeah.
can gather what happened, but this was just like, we're gonna cut away. We're back. We're gonna cut away. We're back.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
was
like,
so weird.
Just cutting to black for a couple seconds for no reasons.
Well,
It
and then
was
like
weird.
the end of the episode with what happens, and I don't think we're spoiling anything.
No,
here.
we won't spoil anything.
But like, you would think that character would have gone out in a little bit more of a cool way than
There's-
what
yeah,
you get. And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, we just really couldn't squeeze in another action scene or make an action scene that was worthy of this moment, so we're just gonna kind of end it.
It also frustrates me, like, that is supposed to be the thing that, like, at the beginning of the first John Wick, that, like, catapults this character into it's their character motivation, right? Like,
Yeah.
it catapults them into doing what they're going to do in the second and third act. And just with the whole situation and how it all pans out, like, it was like, okay, like, it kind of feels like the debt has been paid, and should anyone be really
Yeah,
upset about this in a
Nope.
way that would cause mass chaos and justify 2 more episodes? I don't think so.
Winston's got to get the hotel, man.
Maybe that's a hot take.
it's just it's weird that's the I think that character is one of the more interesting characters.
Very much so.
And B, do we ever see it get switched out?
No.
Okay, that's right, because
No.
you were like, I was not expecting that.
Uh-huh.
That to me was like okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing, right? So who's got it? You assume it's Winston, but I don't know. That was just weird to me.
Mhm.
I thought there would be something different happening there.
Well, I don't think Winston probably might not even know.
Where it is.
Maybe
right.
Yin.
Maybe
is
it's
that
a
her-
race to
is
the
that her
Yin.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a race to the bottom
And then
for that thing.
we need a reason for Mel Gibson to come after Winston now.
Correct.
And Winston has a reason to fight him because
Yeah.
order the hit on his brother or whatever. But
I will say,
Slight spoilers.
though, I love the weight of what is stolen.
Yeah.
Because like at first I didn't realize like what he stole. I don't know if I missed them say it, but then when they like say, "Hey, it's this thing," I was like, "Oh yeah, that is definitely something that could change everything in this
Mhm.
universe." Especially after you watch John Wick 2, and you realize kind of what those mean and all that. But it's like, oh boy,
Mhm.
okay, that's cool. Like I think it's a cool MacGuffin thing for everybody to chase. Is at least it's interesting.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the most part, I think I like Winston. I like that character. I think, unfortunately, Frankie is so much more interesting at the
Yes.
beginning, and we get that really awesome fight scene, and then we just cut to Winston being Winston.
Sitting in
like
the chair with
it's
Tom
an-
Hanks.
It's an interesting juxtaposition. But by the end of episode 1, I was like, okay, like, I think I'll be interested in seeing where this goes.
Yeah, and I mean,
with
it's
him.
only the nice thing is it's only 3 episodes, right? So it's not
Yeah.
like it's this giant investment of your time, but you know you're gonna get enough action scenes that you'll find some enjoyment in it.
Yeah.
If action's your cup of tea, right?
Mhm.
I think if I were to recommend this to people, I think if you like John Wick, you'll like this to an extent. I think what we were kind of talking about after, but what Brett had said, I think, was just talking about the pacing of the John Wick movies versus the pacing of this show. And I do think that's probably its biggest detriment.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't move as quickly.
And like with a show, you should stretch it out. Like
Yeah.
you should fill that time with, character meat.
Things that are interesting.
Things that are interesting, that are driving these characters, that are, you're not just moving to the next scene to move to the next scene. And other than a couple scenes, specifically the introduction scenes, maybe like when we meet Yen, I think is good. There's some scenes in the Continental that I think are good. They're slower paced, but I think they're well acted. And appropriate weight is given there. Like for the most part, like a lot of the stuff with like the dealers and like that safe house they kind of go to, I just with where they get Maria, I just didn't think any of that was that fulfilling. It didn't feel like a good use of an hour and a half of my time. Like I think this could have been cut down to an hour and gotten what we got. We would have still got what we need.
I really like the bit. Was Maria the cop?
The car.
The car.
Isn't it
okay.
Maria?
Yeah, the car.
Yeah.
No, the cop lady.
Yeah.
When she goes into the Continental.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
great scene.
fantastic.
Good scene.
It was
Very good scene.
it was so cool to see somebody react to the world of John Wick that doesn't know what's going on. Because I mean, like in the John Wick movies, they're running through clubs just headshotting each other, and people are just like,
cool.
"Oh,
Yeah.
what was that? Like, that's crazy. Oh, he's got an axe. We're dancing." And like to see her go in there and just be like, I'm in a lot of trouble. But they also like have their no violence rule, so they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
I guess unless she does something, but I think her character in the show is an interesting ringer. Because normally everybody knows what's going on in the world of John Wick.
Yep.
And he doesn't. So I'm excited for her part in this story.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that to touch on that scene too, the tension built through
Like
just,
she
just buying
sees,
a drink.
Yeah.
Was just so cool. And I was like,
the
this
dude
is
sees
good.
the cash and he's like,
Well, I love
you don't know what's going on.
I love the way that scene is kind of shot and edited, because like you can see everybody in the background, like they're all out of focus, but they're also reacting to the moment, and then it'll cut around to each of them, and you're like, this is cool. This is like that. Give me like a goofy short film thing of people going in there and making stupid mistakes in the Continental, because I love the response of that world.
Yeah,
it's
and then
cool.
he's like, I'd like a room. We're full. Like, oh, she's seeing everybody with guns. She's like, it's not good. I'm in a little
bit of a pickle.
Deep water here.
Yeah,
I think I'll leave. Yeah, that was probably my favorite scene, honestly. In that
it was good. Good. I like the opening stairwell fight a lot. I thought that was really good. It felt very akin to John Wick.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
long-haired protagonist doing things and
just doming people, throwing stuff.
Yeah, I love always great in the John Wick franchise when the clip empties and he's like, "Ugh,"
Throw the
launches
gun.
the gun. Absolute best. Some of my favorite moments.
Yep.
But no, all in all, I'm curious about next week, the next episode. I think that's.
I think you guys are a little
leaves
more
me-
curious than me. I think unless the
You haven't
timing
seen
works
John
out.
Wick 4 yet, though.
Oh, and unless because I don't have Peacock, right? And so I can't just sit
Most
down
people
and
don't.
watch this. So
They did lose $3 billion.
I just want to remind you, the only reason I had it was because they had a deal where it was $1.99 for the year.
I'm just
like a month, but
my
for the
point
year.
being,
That's why they lost so much money.
my point being is like, unless it just works out that on the right evening I can go over to Luke's place and watch it.
Won't be Sunday night this week.
It probably it won't.
Chiefs are playing, baby. Let's go.
Like, there's a good chance I won't see episode 2 for a while.
I'll just record it and
It didn't
increments
grab.
on
It
Snapchat.
didn't grab.
and send it to you.
just
Please send like the first 10 minutes through Snapchat.
Yeah. Just make a new TikTok account and then do the little like part 1,
and then just
part
green
2,
screen myself
part
on
3.
it.
Just you watching it, randomly be like, ooh.
Ooh. Somebody gets domed. Nice.
Don't do the full. Don't do like the full screen thing. Like make it like the vertical video, and you're like following the action.
You're basically the cameraman.
You're the cameraman. Yeah.
You're shooting the movie through the movie.
So it's
So
not.
meta.
It's not a show that I'm like, oh man, I think people are gonna want to get Peacock because of this.
No.
Or try it out even.
No.
It's fine. And is what it is, but I think for a lot of people, it probably won't be worth it.
I think my biggest hope for this show, looking ahead, is that it is a valuable piece of like the John Wick universe, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it to be amazing, but I want it to add to that universe in a way that is positive.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest hope.
Sharon in there too, which is cool.
Yeah. I was not expecting that for some reason. Like, I just was not.
A young Lance Reddick.
Yeah, just kind of.
R.I.P. man.
Too soon.
Yeah. But.
Okay.
Cool. The Continental.
Cool. That's our impressions. We will jump over to the writer's strike and talk about some news. We'll start with the writer's strike and we can go into some other news stories. But
Deal. Kick us off.
During our watch of the Continental,
Yeah.
Luke looked down. I looked down and I kind of saw it and I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about it in the middle of the episode.
It's big news.
Luke would just like 5 minutes later just blurt it out. What? The writer's strike's over?
Tentative agreement.
So yeah, there's a tentative agreement that the kind of writers union leaders and the AMPTPSDGWXYZ corporation came to basically an agreement that said we think
PEDs.
we are happy with this. Both sides are happy, quote unquote, with this, and it makes really meaningful
Gains?
Gains?
Is that the word they were using? The phrasing?
for what the writers union wanted, specifically in terms of residuals and in terms of AI. But we don't know those details, and we won't know those details until kind of they hammer out all of the lawyer speak, and it goes out to the union members to vote on. So they could be a thing where if the union members look at it and say, there's a few too many concessions here, we don't approve it, we'll keep striking.
They do the old Joe Pesci.
And technically, the strike is still on, but I think they've let up on picketing.
Yeah, they recommended, when I was reading it just a little bit ago, they recommended that they go join the SAG pickets.
Yep.
Rather than picket for the Writers Guild.
Yep.
So definitely still going to be some picketing, but writers will not be picketing for writers. They'll be picketing for screen actors.
Well, I think that's one of the really cool, I guess cool is the right word, unique things about unions is, and especially in Hollywood, because there's so much collaboration and, like we're in this together. Like you don't often see in the competitive industry world, like groups of workers necessarily like supporting other workers, right? It's kind of like I'll get mine, this is a capitalist system, and everyone else can eat shit.
Dog eat dog.
But like with the union structure, there's a sense of like, I don't know, camaraderie between, at least in Hollywood, between those unions. So it's been neat to watch already, and it's nice to see that just because there's a potential deal there for the writers doesn't mean that they're necessarily just we're going back to work like nothing.
Get your lunch pails.
Right. It's like, okay, but the actors deserve theirs too. Where's their piece of the pie? So
yeah, I was really nervous it was gonna last a really long time. So I'm glad that it's seems at least to be coming to an end.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the WGA's agreeing, SAG will be pretty close behind.
I think so.
It'll be quick.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because they might just be like, okay, we've got to agree. We've got to make a fair deal for this. We gave it to the writers. Now here's screen actors. Like, welcome back to movie making. But like, I mean, it might be at least under a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
I mean, how long does it? Did they give a timetable just on the final document?
I think the final draft of the writer's stuff will be this week.
I think they said tentatively the vote would be tomorrow.
Oh, the vote would be tomorrow.
Something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Said,
So, yeah. So by the next time we record, there could be like a approved deal,
and we'll read it word for word right here.
And I think they said that it was for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did see that.
They'll have another conversation in 3 years about negotiations again. And look at the pace that technology is moving right now. That's seems quick, but it's actually an eternity.
So it says immediately after those leadership votes, which are tentatively scheduled for Tuesday if the language is settled, we will provide a comprehensive summary of the deal points in the memorandum agreement. So the leadership is voting tomorrow, assuming language is intact.
Yep.
So
then it would go out for everyone to read, and then there would probably be a
there would be
a little
another
later.
vote.
I mean, they'll give them a couple days to probably
process through and make sure everything looks good. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so it looks like the leadership of WGA will, assuming it's ready, vote tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tuesday the 26th. So, and then they'll need a ratification vote, it says.
Yep.
Now I'm just excited too to hear all these projects.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. So if that authorization is approved, once the memorandum is whatever, it would need a ratification vote by the membership. If that authorization is approved, the board and council would also vote on whether to lift the restraining order and end the strike pending ratification. This would allow writers to return to work during the ratification vote.
Okay.
So while it's still in the process of being lifted and everything, they could still return to work.
Mm-hmm.
So you will probably, I mean, assuming everything goes as planned, probably see it in the next month, I would assume.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Hopefully,
man, there's just
hopefully it goes smoothly. Like,
so many projects that I just like have been waiting to hear stuff on,
Mm-hmm.
and some of it will probably still wait for the actors' strike to end as well.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just like thinking, Batman, Superman Legacy, and Last of Us season 2. I just want to hear the creators talk about it again.
Yeah.
I honestly just want to see people promote their films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel I didn't realize how much I missed that until we've kind of been going through it, where like a movie comes out to almost zero fanfare.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing. Like, you don't even hear about it, and it's irritating.
Yeah.
Because part of what's cool is like hearing the behind the scenes stories as they're leading up to the release of their film. They're like, we can't wait for you guys to see it, and that does build, like, you see the box office dip is probably huge right now.
It is. It's awful.
But like they build in hype like that I think is so necessary to this whole process. So
I think that's a great reminder, as SAG is negotiating, how valuable
press is.
They are to the process post they're done on the job, right?
Yeah.
Like, now, yes, background actors, we're not talking about them, but like your stars do carry power, and if your stars are getting behind the fact that, hey, no, all of our members need to have a livable wage and need to be able to make enough to have health care and things like this, like, that's the power of a union, is that now, because you're not meeting those kind of bare minimums, okay, your top actors aren't promoting their films, and they're getting no buzz and no press, and they're doing horrible.
Do we see Dune move back to November?
Oh, I hope not. Surely not. I think we're at that like critical point though, where stuff has been shut down long enough that at the end of the day, like, producers and the companies, the studios, are getting nervous about, you can only write off and dust things under the rug for so long before it comes for your job, right? Like when you're a $1 billion company, you've got to keep those receipts to a certain degree. And we've talked about how much of movie making is laundering.
Yes.
Probably more than we think. But it keeps the shareholders happy.
Only one person has the receipts.
Yeah.
The rest are burned and deleted.
So yeah, no, it's I'm glad that the writers' strike is hopefully coming to an end.
Dude, heck, the Emmys have been delayed for like
Oh my gosh,
4 months.
yeah.
I have an Emmy prediction.
Will it happen?
I might not.
Will it happen in 2023?
My prediction was The
knows?
Last of Us wins Best Drama. I mean, it got nominated.
Yeah, I was gonna say you made that
That's
prediction so far back, like it's hard to even remember that. But
Right?
yeah, like it actually looks really good right now, assuming the Emmys happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Will it actually happen?
I think it will. 'Cause otherwise, next year's Emmys are going to be...
A yikes
They're
fest.
going to be like 2 months apart. Unless they just move the Emmys to late winter, early spring, like where the Oscars are.
Yeah.
Just do it as a normal year. Gosh, Emmys are so annoying. June through May? Are you kidding me? You know how hard that is to keep track of? Gosh.
Too hard, apparently, for Luke. All right. Let's move on to some other news. What else we got?
This is probably my favorite news story of the week. Martin Scorsese says we need to save cinema from franchise culture. He's famously stated some years ago that superhero movies aren't cinema, right? Isn't that what he said? Something along those lines.
Something along those lines.
And now we need to save it from franchise culture.
He specifically said Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But we know he meant...
Yeah. He's a
We
little
know what
bit
you meant.
older.
I think he even said Marvel movies are film theme park rides. They're not cinema.
Yeah.
And
that was his previous quote.
Yeah.
And then everybody got in a fritz by it. Like even James Gunn was like, "Bro, this is cinema. What are you talking about?" But yeah, this is kind of just continuing that.
It's the mentality. I mean, I think...
Honestly,
there is some expansion on it, and I kind of love what he talks
Yeah,
about.
give us some more.
He talked about how studios are no longer... All studios want is franchise IPs. They're afraid to find a creator with a voice. It's kind of paraphrasing what he said. And, I think you would find that more people agree with him than not.
Yeah.
And I'm, sounds like we all agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think... everybody's going to take the headline of saving cinema from
Sure.
franchise films, right? And they're going to twist it to say, Scorsese thinks they should not make superhero movies anymore. And I don't think that's what he's saying at all. I think he's just saying that we need more people willing to take chances on creators.
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese, I've got good news. Nobody's going to see him. So, you kind of are winning. And, we're seeing, I think we're starting to see... that people are tired of it. It's being just thrown at you constantly, just like $300 million blockbuster, $300 million blockbuster, $300 million blockbusters. See 2 of them.
Right.
For most people, we go see them.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna see. Not yet. Eventually, studios will catch on, and I do think you could see the resurgence of more mid-budget creator-driven films. Like we have The Creator coming out next week.
Yeah.
That's this week, isn't it?
It's
This
this weekend.
Friday.
This weekend.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. If that does well, it's great for cinema.
I was gonna say, I don't think movie fans probably don't realize how badly we need this movie to do well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not...
I don't know
what it's tracking at, but...
What does well?
Right.
Well, right now, nothing's doing well, so...
Yeah.
To be fair. I think what gives me hope are studios like A24, like Blumhouse. Pretty much anytime they announce something, we're like, ooh! At least they get our attention. Whereas, when we hear the next Marvel project, we're like,
Okay, we'll see.
yeah, okay.
Do you guys know the budget for the creator?
I think it's like
80
40,
some?
50.
It's 80.
I think it's 80,
Okay.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a little-
Less than 100.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. So
Love it.
even if it, you know, it just needs a little legs.
Yeah.
I think it's opening at a
getting
good
reviews,
on a good
but-
weekend for it though. Like, it's got some space between things, and the thing will be, does it have enough kind of press behind it to get people out to it?
I think the other problem too is a lot of those mid-budget movies aren't releasing in theaters now. They're going to streamers.
Absolutely, yeah. There's the new one on Hulu. What is it? It Lives Inside of Us?
Filthy.
No, what is it called?
Filthy, Mike Evans.
I don't remember what it's called.
Which one?
The new one on Hulu. It's a horror film. You probably won't have.
Never Have I Ever. Something like that. It Will Never Leave You.
I think you're thinking of the one we saw. The
No One Will Save You.
Oh.
Is
That's
getting
kinda
like
close.
it's getting like rave reviews right now.
Mhm.
Well, that's
And
the
they're like-
Alien one, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, why did this not come out in theaters?
Like even like Prey.
Because like
Like
it's
why is that
like
not
this is
released in
this is a
theaters?
fantastic one for this time of year.
Yeah.
It's like a somewhat
Especially with the alien stuff in the news right now.
right. Like come
It's
on.
perfect.
Yeah. So, like, honestly, I feel like indie movies is a good place for streamers, because people will be like, "Hey, it's a cool little film. Maybe I'll check it out," and then you can release it less widely, like in more other places.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like those mid-budget movies need to come out in theaters.
Yeah.
It can't be just blockbusters, and most blockbusters now are superhero movies.
Yeah. I think what people need to start realizing, I don't know if they're getting this yet or not, consumers at least, with the prices that streamers are charging now, you're paying for a movie, you know, if you're going to the theater, you're paying for a ticket a month, you know, per subscription at least, if not 2 tickets. Now they're going to start throwing ads in there, which, yeah, if you go to your local theater, you're going to see some ads before your movie. And some of the streamers have done a better job than others about where they place ads, but
Disney Plus.
sometimes it's just like, boop, right in the middle of a scene. Here's an ad. Like, that's garbage, and you shouldn't.
And the main villain
to
is
put up with
revealed
that.
as Whopper, 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 Whopper. Ugh. That's not what happened, but it's going to probably sometime.
Honestly,
it'll be
I would
interesting.
laugh and then be pissed off about that.
I think at the end of the year
In that
here, I'll
order.
do another
Streaming Wars?
update.
Is the
because
map coming back?
Did
the
you
map
see,
needs to come back, and I think I'll be ready to make some predictions.
Did you see that IGN today was like reviewing each streaming service?
They do that every year.
Yeah, I just think it's apt timing.
It's almost
Yeah.
like a state of the game each year they do for or streamer. I
State
guess,
of
for
the
each-
state of the industry.
They're like, how is HBO doing? 7 out of 10. They're almost all 7 out of 10 now.
Yeah.
Just-
Disney Plus got an 8,
oh,
and I was like, "Whoa!"
bull
they
crap.
must be using the one with no ads. How does it get an 8? They have like no original content.
Not Marvel, bro.
It's not original.
got Star Wars, bro.
It's IP,
You got Star Wars.
not original. What was the
The Little Mermaid.
They had ABC. It was the Michelle Yeoh show, wasn't it?
Oh, shoot, what was it called?
Oh, American Born Chinese.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so you
I was
watched
like,
like at least the first.
There's one.
it's a graphic novel.
Well, it's not Marvel or
Yes.
it is.
No. I'm agreeing with
It's
you.
not
yeah.
Marvel or Star Wars, so
Yeah.
like, at least it's a little more original. But like, what were we even talking about? I don't even remember. Streamers, man.
Streamers, man.
They all be implementing
Baroque
ads.
over in the chat says some sports/movie news this weekend at Talladega. NASCAR drivers Ryan Pierce and Chase Briscoe will be running the Cal Naughton Jr. and Ricky Bobby liveries from Talladega Nights. I don't know what that means, but that's because I've never watched a minute of NASCAR in my life. I do love.
Are they going
the
to
Battle
be
of Ricky Bobby? Does
are
that
they-
mean they're going to be like those
their-
characters?
Wasn't it like a Wonder Bread car or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Are they going to be in the Wonder Bread
maybe
car?
that's what it is. Yeah. So, some little cross promotion there, I guess. One thing I will I was pretty pumped about this week was that at least AMC, I don't know if Regal's doing it, are re-releasing some horror.
The Matrix is in theaters right now too.
Well, they're doing a lot
Get
of those
Out.
re-releases, right? And so they're X was coming back to theaters. I was like, oh, I haven't watched X, and Tyler keeps saying I need to. Maybe I'll go see it in theaters.
They're gonna be driving the those cars.
Those cars,
Yeah.
okay.
So the
They'll be
Old
driving
Spice and the
cars.
Wonder Bread
Yeah,
car.
I love it.
I know that Back to the Future is coming to theaters in October, or maybe it was November. I don't remember.
But The Witch was one. It's a movie that I love. I know. I overhyped The Witch.
No, I love that movie.
I thought you said.
No.
I know you like it. I thought you.
I hate that
I like it a lot.
He hates it. Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my goodness.
This dude's got this
we're
whole
gonna
made up thing.
we're
in his
gonna
head.
take it. We're gonna take you to it then. But
You think I would have gone and seen The Lighthouse if I hadn't seen The Witch and liked it?
maybe.
I
No.
went and saw it and hadn't seen The Witch.
Yeah, I liked. We've talked about Eggers before. I can't believe you
I
didn't think I
know.
liked this movie.
No, I thought
Bacon
you.
and Eggers.
Black Phillip's my boy.
In my head, I thought you thought it was overrated.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Well, then same team.
No, not same team.
You can't make accusations like that and
Yeah,
just get away with
you don't get to point fingers and then say,
It was
we
not
agree."
even that
Same
much of an
team.
accusation. Oh my gosh.
Same team, Luke. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
did nothing.
So
You instigated, and I love that.
keep an eye out on your local theaters to see if there's some of those re-releases that you may be interested in seeing. Because I didn't see The Witch in theaters, and I think it would be dope
Neither,
to get
yeah.
back there.
The
and-
Vavitch.
The Vavitch. And see it again.
Son of a Vavitch.
I always try to recommend that movie to people, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." And I'm like, "No, you should watch it. It's actually good." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't know." I'm like, "Okay, good movie."
Good movie. Good friggin' movie. What else? What other news we got?
I got a couple things.
Well, punch me in the face with that news, baby.
So fresh off the announcement that the writer's strike was apparently coming to an end, kind of. Greg Daniels is
Ugh.
attached to an Office reboot.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge Office fan. I watch it with Dana every now and again. Dana loves it, and I told her about it, and her immediate response is they have no business doing this. This is dumb. And I'd say I have to agree. I think this is stupid.
It's way too soon.
Yeah, people
People have been asking for just a reunion.
like a
Continuation.
little special or something.
But to reboot it, it's no, man. It's not gonna work.
Pick your Michael Scott if you had to pick.
This
one
is
now.
this
That
is
isn't Steve
Michael B.
Carell.
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Or-
Lakeith Stanfield.
Emily
Okay.
Blunt.
Yours is Lakeith
make it British.
Stanfield.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Make it British.
Just
So make it like
make
the
it British
original?
again.
So make it like the original. Just remake the original show. Same cast. I
Ricky
for whatever
Gervais is
reason,
back.
I was trying to think of it, and I couldn't get off of Jason Bateman.
Okay.
What I thought would be super weird and different, but
Willem Dafoe.
I think this
no,
is
the real answer is Tom Holland.
this is
but-
emblematic of the exact same thing we
I'd rather
just
die.
talked about with
Yeah.
Scorsese, though, right? It is hey, what is our most valuable commodity? What's our most valuable content? What's our most valuable piece of IP? How can we make more money off of that?
Peacock's we lost how many billions? Let's do The Office again.
Should have kept licensing that out to Netflix. That would have paid their little piggy
I feel like
banks
they still could.
forever.
They definitely still
up
could.
But they
the
have
price.
to. Well, they have to pay themselves for it, right? That's the rules with streaming. Is when you license to yourself, you still have to pay for it. So
yeah.
instead of getting $1 billion, they're paying $1 billion.
Woof.
It just financially it makes zero sense to me.
Maybe
when
they'll
you
just
have
give
a
it a good old-
streamer like Peacock. If you had HBO Max, if you were Netflix, I get it. You have a big enough base that you're like that's a solid investment in your own
thing.
piece of app or whatever. But I'm sorry, when you're Peacock, you don't have the firepower to go swinging around your junk like that. Sorry.
Maybe they'll
Could
tax.
really use
Maybe they'll
half
tax
of their
write
name
off
there.
the original Office, deleting it from everywhere online, and then people will have to watch the reboot. What a horrible idea I just put inside their heads.
Maybe.
How dare you.
We have the physicals on The Office, so I think we'd be okay.
It would be.
I think people would actually riot.
Probably.
Can we get back to like more physical media though? Like for real, where's my Midnight Mass? Where's my Blu-ray of Midnight Mass?
You know, I am really thankful a lot of the time that I have Hill House on Blu-ray with the commentaries.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I got that before it disappeared from the world.
Right?
No, absolutely. I got two more stories. Luke, I don't know if you want to go with one.
Go ahead and do yours, and then I'll do mine.
One of mine is on yours, too.
Keep going.
Cal Kestis actor Cameron Monaghan says Jedi 3 is in process.
Thank you for saying this after what's his name left.
Yep.
I mean, nobody was really worried that it wasn't, but it's nice to know.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. I still haven't beat Survivor, but it's kind of a foregone conclusion. I think Survivor sold really well. Just like Fallen Order did. So.
Fantastic game.
Yeah.
I think he also said, like, it's a very big undertaking. Like,
There's also
it's
some
going to be even bigger than the second one.
There's also some like huge rumors flying around with him showing up in something soon.
Like Ahsoka?
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but
Listen, all I'm going to say is there's a lot of Zepho-looking things in that show.
Yeah, there sure are.
He's showing up.
hey man, whatever works. And then I have my last thing. You want me to keep going? Okay. Division 3 was announced.
You want me to announce this news
Well, I
that
took
you
the
care
Star-
so much
I took
about?
the Star Wars thing.
I don't freaking care.
Announced with no fanfare in a blog post, and I will clap my hands for that.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. This
It
is how
really
games
is.
should be announced. This is how games should be announced. Don't give us a trailer like Elder Scrolls 6 7 years before you've even started development.
Just
This
like
is
to
so
say,
stupid.
we're making the thing.
Yeah,
Thank you
it
for
was like the announcement literally goes: the Division 3 is officially in pre-production. Julian Garrity will be appointed EP of the Division brand after he finishes his work on Star Wars Outlaw. He's assembling his team for the Division 3, and I was like, "Well done. I like it. That's the way you announce something." And then Julian Garrity put out a little statement in a blog post on the Ubisoft website, and that was the end of it. So, as the Division 3 division person here, this is super exciting for me. I was kind of hoping this would happen. I think the Division is kind of one of those franchises that has a lot of meat on the bone still. I think
Destiny Killer.
it's definitely not the Destiny Killer. I think Destiny is the Destiny Killer.
At the end of the day, you're right.
No,
It
the
will-
dude who's been DDoSing Bungie is the Destiny Killer.
But no, I'm really excited for this. I am very curious to see where the setting is. I think that's something that's so interesting about this franchise, where they could decide to take it.
Yep.
I did have a prediction on this year that the Division 3 would be announced, as well as set in the Pacific Northwest. I do not believe we will get a setting announcement this year.
No.
Considering that they're nowhere.
You
even
probably
close
won't
to
hear it
start.
again about
Probably
this game for a year.
I would say probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, because he's got to finish Outlaw, and then
Do you want to update on the scores, Brett?
I would love an update on
I guess I
scores.
get 1 point from this prediction right now.
Yep. So I'll start with my score because I have the lowest. I have 0. I'm crushing it.
Big time in it.
Yeah. And I only have 2 that could possibly even come true still. One of those is a Game of the Year prediction, and one was Last of Us, which I said earlier.
I think technically all 3 of mine could still come true that I have remaining.
You're freaking nut. You're insane. Brett, you have 1 point.
Do I not have 2?
Maybe. I don't know.
Which one do you have for me?
65.
I have that one, but I also have Avatar 4 and 5 are officially greenlit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're right. Tyler's over here sitting with 8 points is what I have marked down. So it's over. It's like Tyler won.
Yeah, not possible to beat Tyler at this point.
Here, let me run through them real quick. I had number 1, Amazon Luna will officially shut down. That has not actually happened yet, but still could happen. Starfield will be delayed again to Q3 2023, which obviously happened right after the year started.
Yep.
David Cornsweet will be casted as Superman. That happened. TMNT Mutant Mayhem will be the first fresh Ninja Turtles movie ever with a critic score greater than 75%. That happened. Looking back on this one, I kind of feel bad about it. But Barbie will make more at the global box office than Black Adam, greater than $450 million. That is like the biggest layup ever.
At the time, it wasn't
At
a
the
layup.
time, it wasn't. No, but
still, it just
But we
feels
weren't expecting the cultural phenomenon that was
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. An Xbox first-party game will win Game of the Year. Starfield, that's still possible. Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard will officially be called off. Still possible. Highly unlikely.
Unlikely at this
No,
point.
it just got approved in the UK.
Still
They're doing it. They're
still
going in.
technically possible.
Isn't it still in the FTC doing a second wave on this thing right now?
I think it's.
There was a bunch of stuff. That
I think
came
they
out.
appealed to do it a second time, and it got denied.
It got denied.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it'll
I think that one's the least likely of the ones I have remaining. And then the Division 3 will be announced, set in the Pacific Northwest, which that one felt like a huge far cry when I wrote it down. I actually think I had a Division 3 prediction every year since Division 2 came out. So it's kind of nice that one came to be. But yeah, looking good.
Yeah. Congrats, Tyler. You get to.
I feel like you have to follow up a year like this one with just the most outlandish predictions you can think of, right?
Yeah,
like I don't
think
want to.
So.
I want to get crazy next year.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, no,
just
It,
the
it
stupidest
really
things.
is. It really is.
I got to
Yeah.
think of some.
My
good ones.
prediction is that Nolan makes a movie with Tom Cruise on the moon. I'm gonna write that down.
That felt like to me you had a dartboard, and it felt like the Evan dude on Instagram who makes the Mad Libs.
Yeah, Mad Libs movies.
We're gonna make a Fast and Furious movie. Like that's what that felt like. That's exactly what that felt like.
I legit wrote that down too. That movie he's making in space. What if they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna send you to the moon. We're just gonna have you walk on it. It's gonna be real." Nolan's gonna direct that movie.
Oh my gosh! Don't tease me like this, Luke.
Yeah.
Don't give me hope.
Here,
Stanley
it will be a
Kubrick
double
will return
prediction.
from the afterlife to direct the Tom Cruise on the moon movie.
No, it's a double prediction. Nolan makes a movie with Tom Cruise
On the moon.
on the moon.
There you go.
There we go.
Your second point is on the moon.
I'm locking that in. just you wait. When January 31st comes around next year, you're gonna be like, "What the heck's Luke's dumb prediction this year?" No one makes a movie with Tom Cruise on the moon.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
Right next to my Waterworld reboot, directed by Christopher Nolan.
At this point, what isn't Christopher Nolan doing?
Ooh, that was another thing about the Scorsese thing that was kind of funny. He was like, "We need people to go watch movies by cinema directors like Christopher Nolan, notoriously famous for directing 3 Batman movies."
An entire trilogy.
Like, I understand the pick too. Like, him, Scorsese, and Villeneuve are like the cinema directors that are just like, I'm gonna go see their movie.
right.
He probably doesn't even know that he's done Batman movies, so we'll let it slide. Honestly, he'd probably like them because you know what? They're gangster movies.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Trying to take down the mob.
Love it.
All right. Well, we've got. Did you have any more news?
No.
I actually just remembered something. It was we were talking about the Xbox buying Blizzard or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the thing where Jim Ryan was like, and it's like, you know what? We don't think there's just, it's not worth it to buy Activision Blizzard, because we just won't get that much out of it, and that's why we're a lot more comfortable buying Bungie.
Oh yeah.
They're like, we didn't think it was worth it, and we know for like
the email leaks or whatever, or is this like he actually?
I think he said it.
Oh boy,
I didn't, but like, it's just so ironic because for the past 2 years you've been fighting tooth and nail to keep Microsoft from buying them.
Yeah.
It's like, so is it a good investment or is it not? Why are you so? Jim Ryan's a weird guy.
He really is. He really
Maybe
is.
that just comes with being a giant CEO of a company. You're a little weird.
It's possible.
Yeah, he even had the email thing where like he was emailing internally at Sony, and he was like, "Yeah, they really won't, make too much if they buy Activision. Like, we'll be fine without Call of Duty." And then Microsoft did it, and they were like, "Oh, we can't lose Call of Duty," because they referred to Call of Duty as their baby in some of those emails. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like he refers to Call of Duty as his baby. Like
So,
it's so weird.
That all comes about at the same time as like so the day after we recorded last week, there was
the leak
all
thing.
the Xbox leaks.
Because somebody accidentally submitted it to the court case incorrectly.
Someone needs to learn how to submit things to courts.
This happened to PlayStation last time, though.
Yeah.
So it's Xbox's turn to screw it up.
It's okay. PlayStation will get hacked again.
So kind of outlined there at one point. We don't know exactly how relevant these plans still are, but the future planning of what does the next 5-6 years of Xbox look like, including like new consoles coming. I think it was 2028 was like kind of next gen hardware stuff, but a plan for like a reboot of the current hardware, get a little bit of an upgrade. Here's our ideal product layout. From all you need is a controller, because you can stream with
the apps on the TV,
xCloud on the TV.
It's in the cloud.
This is kind of the budget version of gaming. Here's our maybe ideal average gamer, and then here's like our kind of our high end stuff for our high end gamers, the ones who are our whales, who are gonna who want to buy the nice things and play at the 8Ks and the 120 frames per second and whatnot.
They also mentioned like more dedicated Xbox mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
Which I think would be so cool, especially if games would get behind it and be like, yeah, you can use it now.
Yeah.
There's
I'd be so down to try.
Yeah. Because there's a decent bit of them now that'll allow you to do it, which I think is cool.
Like Bungie, you can't use it in Destiny.
You do it. I think you can Call of Duty, you can.
Yeah.
A couple other shooters are cool with it.
Yeah.
But like even like with Starfield, it would be so nice. I've been getting
for
really
item management. Oh my god.
Really frustrated with the shooting in that game this week as I snipe somebody, my crosshair directly over their head, and it goes.
Gotta upgrade that
It's
sniper skill, sir.
Trying to be sneaky.
They did have a handheld too.
They did have. Yeah, was the last thing I was gonna mention, was that there was mention of a handheld.
The Xbox Connect.
Which will that ever look? I think some of this stuff is like what Phil Spencer said in like a tweet afterwards. Like, it's a lot of plans, things that get talked about that aren't necessarily like, until it's made public, don't count on it being a thing, right? Like, so these are things that they are maybe hoping for, building towards, expecting, but it certainly doesn't guarantee that any of that is happening.
Yeah.
But I think I had a couple last year. Oh no, last year I think I had that Microsoft would like kind of like partner up with Nintendo on like the Switch type thing.
Getting Game Pass on the Switch.
Yeah, but that obviously didn't happen. So I think there's room in the Xbox lineup for a kind of handheld. I think they have to do better than what PlayStation's doing with their Project Q or whatever.
I think the issue with, and I don't want to say it's an issue because that's not the right word, but I think where Xbox fits into the market is it's not what Sony's doing.
Yeah.
It's the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Because you can't run Game Pass natively on the Steam Deck. You have to run it through a browser. They get their handheld. They run things through Game Pass on the handheld. voila.
Mhm.
I don't think this is a handheld that has cartridges. I think this is all xCloud related material, which I think is cool. Like I have friends, and I won't say their names for protecting them from anythings, but that will play games on their phones at work through Game Pass, and I'm like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Risky.
Being able to do that with a handheld would be so nice and convenient versus having to use your phone. Right?
Yeah.
That probably is gonna die in 10 minutes, and it's just so cool.
Well, your phone's doing so many other things. If you can have a dedicated piece of hardware with a bit of a larger battery and
and hardware built to do just that.
Exactly. Yep.
So no, it's cool, man.
It is.
It's exciting.
We had one question come in for the fan box.
Whoa.
Nick, Game Lord Master in the chat. His question is, when will Travis Kelce get an entire album after the breakup?
Oh, will
he get a entire album or just a single song?
Ooh.
I think it depends
prediction.
on how well it goes.
It's probably fair. And how long it goes.
Yeah.
If they date for like 3 years and then break up, it's
then maybe.
Yeah.
If they
If
just
it's
see
like
each
a
other for a
fling-
month and it's like, you know what, maybe not. 0 songs.
Yeah, I feel like the dynamic with him is just so different than
If they
the
get
other
married-
guys she's dated.
If they get married and then
Split
stay married,
or not,
she's gonna re-release Red, Travis's version. He's a chief.
The Chief, not 1989.
You love it, Tyler.
Look,
He's 87. So.
Oh, he was
I'm
an 87.
super happy for Chiefs fans and all their new cultists that have joined the fold.
We've been used to like bandwagon fans for a while because like, oh, we're a fun team to watch.
And you win.
But it's like different.
It feels different.
We're getting fans that don't care about football. I'm not turning them away, but like,
come on board. Let's go. Let's see where this ship takes us.
Dude,
Like, I'll ride this rocket ship to the moon, and if it crashes somewhere in between, I don't
then
care.
Tom Cruise will save us.
dude, it's just so strange.
Directed by Christopher Nolan.
The only thing I don't... Here, I'll be the football nerd. Football fanboy here. The only thing I don't like about all of it is, like, Andy Reid getting questions about a game where their offense played absolutely phenomenal, and he's talking about Taylor Swift. And Mahomes is talking about if he's met her or not. And it's like, guys...
It won't happen. I don't think it'll happen again.
I hope not.
It's the first time.
Andy Reid's joke was pretty funny, though.
Andy Reid's joke was
I said
hilarious.
That was good.
But
like Mahomes being like, "Oh, I haven't met her yet. Maybe if they, maybe I'll get to meet her." And it's like, what are we doing? You just scored 41 points, man. Like,
yeah.
Well, let's talk about what you were doing out there because that was really impressive.
Yeah.
Don't care if you meet her or not because it does not impact my life in the slightest bit. So what are we doing?
Maybe it will. Butterfly effect, man.
But for the national media outlets right now, man, they are just foaming at the mouth. This is the story to be on because you're gonna get so many clicks.
I mean, she's a big deal.
Who's a bigger menace, Swifties or K-pop fans?
Oh boy.
I honestly think Swifties are more of a menace.
would
K-pop
probably
fans
agree.
have used their power for some good.
What did they do?
I can't remember exactly, but I just remember like, oh wow, like that was cool. I could be entirely wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't follow K-pop enough, but
I think that's the thing. I'm not in the mix on the K-pop thing, so I don't really know. So I'll say Swifties are a bigger menace.
Here,
but
I'll say-
ultimately, the Snyder cult is the worst. So
That's what I was going to bring up. Now that the Swifties are joining the Chiefs' kingdom, we're probably going to get a lot clearer view of what the Swift cult is like. We
a
can
good
start
point.
comparing and contrasting to the Snyder cult.
it's not. Yeah. Tyler is more into baby metal.
yes, absolutely. Baby metal's awesome. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's gonna be weird. I texted you guys. I was like, the people that are asking, are the Chiefs gonna have a Taylor Swift curse?
Then we won by a lot.
Yeah. Got to win the whole thing, though.
I'm just saying, Mahomes broke the Madden curse. He broke the
true.
MVP curse.
Did he break the Drake curse though? That's the real one.
When did Drake become a fan?
No. Anybody Drake bets on loses. It's like a thing. Like
Who
if he
did
bets
Drake-
on like a UFC fighter, they
When
lose.
did Drake bet?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he ever did. If it was ever publicly
If
stated.
he bet on the Chiefs for the Super Bowl, then I guess he broke that one too.
Yeah.
I think he
We'll
actually.
never
bet.
know.
Yes.
Apparently, the answer is yes. To what?
He bet 700,000 on the Chiefs to win outright last year.
That's more money than I'll ever see in my life.
He netted $777,000, and he bet $1 million on him to win the AFC Championship game. So yes, they have broken the Drake curse, so they're probably gonna be just fine.
I don't think at this point we're really worried about curses
They're
anymore.
curse proof.
Yeah.
But are they curse proof? Curse proof. Can they break that curse? Being allegedly curse proof.
That's a good point, man.
Is it too meta?
Maybe.
We've
I
entered-
may be
I
just
just-
buzzed enough that
okay,
I can't process
This
it.
is honestly the
I
funniest.
can't wrap my head around what's happening.
I think honestly the funniest part about even the whole Taylor Swift
Swifty.
stuff has been the NFL announced Usher as the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared because everybody's talking about Taylor
Yeah.
Swift was at a Chiefs game. They like put out a mini movie to announce it too, and I didn't see it till today.
The one thing that I've watched that I loved the most is okay, I can't say that. There's been a couple, but like the Tim Robinson like wait, let me go first, I'm doing a thing to like the rest of the Chiefs team, like trying to score a touchdown in front of Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For Travis Kelce. Yeah. Dude, I saw a guy. He said, "Is Taylor?" He was tweeting, and he's like, "Is Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game?" And somebody responded, "Yes." And he posted a picture that he had bet like all Travis Kelce overs immediately, like but all on the over.
Did he get them all?
I know he got the touchdown. I got a Travis Kelce touchdown bet.
He had some good yardage.
He had 69 yards.
Oh, perfect.
Right on the
That's
number,
perfect.
right on the money.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be the line
Yeah, I had a parlay
yardage
going for the
bet.
Chiefs game yesterday. It was a Pacheco Kelce touchdown parlay, and they both scored them. So.
I know the running
Won like $10.
We're having a lot of sports talk here, but I know
great.
the running backs were. I think it was McKinnon was like, we wanted to get a running back hat trick. And
Yeah,
they did. They
they
got
all did.
4.
Oh wow.
Who
Because McKinnon
scored?
had 2.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say who scored 2. Yeah, because I saw it was McKinnon scored, and I was like, cool. And then Allaire scored, and I was like, gosh dang it, Pacheco's not scoring. And then Pacheco scored, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I wasn't worried about Kelce. I shouldn't say that. I was worried because they were up by so much, and I was like, I don't know if he's actually gonna
I feel
score.
like they put him in just to score that touchdown.
Yeah, I was
And
like-
then the next play they were out.
Yeah.
Like they didn't go back out there after that.
They had to get him his touchdown in front of Taylor, man.
Respect it.
Absolutely.
He had to put on a show at Arrowhead for him.
I think this is a nice transition into what we did this week. Obviously, we watched a lot of football.
That's what I
We
do
watched
every week.
Taylor Swift watch it.
We watched. Taylor Swift
I
watch
turned the
Chiefs.
audio off on the Chiefs game and watched the Seahawks-Panthers game instead.
Dude, I was
At
eating it
At
up.
some point, it was funny because Stephanie and I were both like, they're not even talking about the Chiefs. Like, they're not talking about the game anymore.
I mean,
Nope.
you can only talk about how bad the Bears are so much in that
Oh
game.
yeah, I guess that's true for Chiefs fans. How'd you guys enjoy watching Justin Fields suck at football? He's horrible. He's allergic to throwing the football. Like it's seriously a thing.
Listen, I know you're like the football guy, so you can probably tell more, but I can't tell how bad he is because there's nothing good about that team. So I honestly don't know if he's that
man.
bad.
He's awful. You want to know a crazy stat? Let me give you a crazy stat. Guess what quarterback has the most time with the ball on a drop back?
Is it
It's Justin
Justin
Fields.
Fields?
The Bears
I
offensive
feel like
line-
that was kind of a leading question.
Yes, absolutely.
Strike it from the record. Objection.
But yeah,
Lawyer.
Justin Fields is the most, I guess you could say, well-protected quarterback in the NFL. He's horrible.
and it's because he doesn't want to throw it,
I think I don't think he knows the plays.
or he doesn't know how to throw it.
But like,
Hot take, I don't know if Justin Fields knows where he's supposed to look.
I
Nor
just-
do I think the Bears
I
know
feel
what
like
they're
they
doing.
don't have good coaches.
No, they don't. Did you hear about
None
the
of
defensive
their
coordinator this week?
You gone?
Yeah, we'll talk about it after the show.
he resigned
For some pretty wild reasons.
but like I'm watching their offense, not just Fields, and it feels like they don't care.
No, not at all.
Which is worse than being bad.
Yes.
Their defense was playing the Chiefs, so it's impossible to tell. But yeah,
their defense isn't good. There's nothing good about that team.
So how many points will the Dolphins put on? 100?
I don't know. My favorite thing is
Triple
like people were
digits.
like, the Dolphins were respectable, didn't kick the field goal to tie
They
the
put up
or
70
score the
points.
point. Well, here's the thing: they went for it on 4th down. They were up by 56, or they had 56 points and they went for it on 4th down. It's like what?
Why?
And then they threw.
If they kicked the field goal, they'd have scored the most points in NFL
their
history.
backup threw
Oh,
like
wow.
a 68-yard touchdown or something. It's like
That's so
if
awesome.
if you weren't running up the score, you would just be running it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other thing. They did get robbed of $100,000 worth of their field equipment.
What?
Yeah, someone broke into their stadium and stole $100,000.
Wait, the Bears or
The Bears.
Oh no.
And then Lepke said Ohio State. Yeah, Ohio State quarterbacks. Fun fact: C.J. Stroud is the first Ohio State quarterback in history to throw for over 300 yards. He did it in his second game in the NFL.
Wasn't
Crazy.
Joe Burrow at Ohio State
He
before he
was.
went to LSU?
Yeah, he lost.
Good
the
job, Joe Burrow. You left Ohio State.
He lost the job to Dwayne Haskins.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why he transferred out. Or part of why he transferred
Who was the other guy on that team? Their team was stacked.
Justin Fields. No, not Justin Fields. Sorry, he was at Georgia. He transferred
It was
to Ohio State.
Dwayne, somebody, and then Joe.
Yeah, it was J.T. Barrett, Dwayne Haskins, Joe Burrow.
I don't
And
even know
J.T.
who the
Barrett
other
got
ones.
hurt. J.T. Barrett never made it really to the NFL. Well, he did, but he didn't ever play.
Anyway,
Yeah, sorry. This was
Hey. Yeah.
I can just continue the sport
Nope,
talk because I
nope,
watched a
nope.
sports show.
Oh, well,
So I
well,
can
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about what we did, so this is probably good.
I finished Winning Time
Yes.
on HBO. It's the story about the Showtime Lakers with Magic and also the Boston Celtics when they had Larry Bird. Found out last week the season 2 finale was actually the series finale.
Oh.
And they definitely knew that going in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is what happened with the Lakers and the Celtics and Magic and Larry at the end. Like the words on the screen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they went on to win. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm glad they at least knew that, and it's
They
not
wrapped
just
it
like
up, yeah.
because in the season that they were doing, they lose. Spoilers, history.
I was gonna say, do we have to spoiler tag history or?
Larry Bird and the Celtics won that year, and like it's like can't just end it there. Like this is a show about the Lakers and kind of the Celtics, but like I'm glad they at least knew. They're like, this isn't coming back. That show was so awesome though. I hope it wasn't because the budget just got so overinflated because of licensing rights even, and people in that show. The cast is stacked.
Look, it's
and
Warner
they're-
Brothers. It could be the greatest thing on earth, and they would just cancel it.
That's true. Tax write-off, baby. But all the leads are fantastic. Seeing Jason Segel play a not funny character was awesome. He plays an unhinged coach who just, when he starts to lose the Lakers to Pat Riley, you just see him come undone. He's so good. Adrian Brody is Pat Riley, and he's freaking
What
awesome.
a great casting choice.
Yeah.
Jillian Jacobs is his wife. She's in the show for like 5 minutes.
Huh.
What's the dude? He's in the second Planet of the Apes movie. He's the main guy.
Yes.
He plays Jerry West.
Oh my gosh, I know who you're talking about. I
Um,
don't even have to see his face to know who you're talking about.
where is it? Where's it?
Jason Clarke.
Jason
Yep.
Clarke. So
Yeah.
good. And then I don't remember all the names of the players, but the dude who like plays Kareem and Magic,
They all returned, right? Same guys from
Same
season
guys,
1.
yeah. They're awesome. And the dude who plays Larry Bird, just the direction around Larry Bird is awesome. They turn him into a straight up psychotic villain. And it's awesome. There's in the last episode when they're just going through the finals that they're in, they like kind of start to play a little dirty and get physical with the Lakers.
Holy crap, dude! The guy they casted looks like him too.
Fantastic, but like
that's creepy.
they see the Lakers like start to get frustrated, and Larry looks at the camera and he's like, "We won." And just like the way he said it, I was just like, "Oh, that's so awesome!" It's a fantastic show. It's 2 seasons. I think season 2 is better. Or I guess I liked it more. The first season has a lot of sex and nudity.
Wasn't it more focused on
Magic and a Bus who owns the Lakers. Oh, it's the dude from Talladega Nights.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, John C. Reilly, who's also fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, him in dramatic roles. Let's get more of those. He's
so
really good.
So good.
Yeah.
But just fantastic show. It really is a shame that it was canceled. I really enjoyed watching that every week. I always looked forward to the next episode. But it's unfortunate. The other big thing that I watched, and I think Brett watched, you're not watching because you're a ding dong.
I am watching.
You're a busy old ding dong.
He's just behind.
Just a couple episodes.
Just ditch your family on Tuesday evenings. No. Is
Actually,
Ahsoka.
Dana is going to be gone tomorrow night. I could watch it.
Whoa.
I won't tell her, but you'll find out when you review it on here. Yeah. Or you can play dumb to it. Oh, I haven't watched it. But no, Ahsoka, episode 6, titled "Far, Far Away." Dude, I freaking love this show so much. As far as like new age Disney era Star Wars, I think it's right up there with Andor. And it's so different from Andor too.
Yeah.
It's like Andor was gritty rebellion, and this is like fantastical force stuff.
Yeah.
And they're both so good, and I'm loving it. It's also just an extension of like Clone Wars and Rebels, which just feels so good. I'm just like waiting for tomorrow night now at this point.
This episode 7?
6. Just 2 more.
Yeah. I enjoyed this. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as Luke. That said, still really good. I think the last episode, or
5
was...
5 was the Clone Wars episode. 6 is the Rebels episode.
Yeah. I don't know.
6 had some characters return.
There are the most interesting parts of the show are the stuff that's new, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of the stuff with with Balin and Shin it's the most interesting Force user stuff has ever been in a long time, and I really enjoyed. I'm trying not to say anything that would spoil this week's episode.
Villain?
I really enjoyed the villain reveal in this episode and the villain's posse. What they did with that was excellent.
Thank you for just casting him.
Oh,
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think that it is maybe still a little too. It's maybe still a little too tied up in Rebels. But because I've seen it, it doesn't really rub me the wrong way. I just think that Stephanie's kind of lost interest. There's just a little too much of that in there for her.
Get her to watch Rebels, great show.
For her to be asking me every other episode, every episode. Okay, so now how does this person tie back around into this? And it's like, okay, well, this, and this. At the end of the day, it is like what Luke said. I think it is one of the better Disney era Star Wars productions, shows, stories that they've been telling.
It feels so focused.
It does,
which I think is another great thing about Andor. Is here's a story we're telling.
Yeah.
Whereas like Mandalorian was like started off kind of like that. And
I'm
then
wondering if
season 3 was just like, what do we do with it?
these middle 3 episodes feel, and I'm wondering if it's just these middle 3 episodes, because they're kind of just disjointed with, each episode is very focused on one of the 2 parties. Like it's kind of following 2 different storylines. They're in parallel, but they're not together, and they're giving 90%, if not 100% of an episode to one of those storylines, and it kind of feels like, okay, I missed seeing X, Y, and Z this episode. And I wonder if that's it more than anything else for me.
Yeah.
And that will be obviously would be resolved for the final 2 episodes.
I do think it's kind of funny that like in episode 5 you spend a lot of time with Ahsoka because Sabine is traveling.
Yeah.
And then the next episode you're with Sabine and everybody else because Ahsoka's traveling. They're just a little bit behind.
Yeah, but no, like Luke said, it's excellent. I'm really, really enjoying it. And comparatively, like with how I talked about the Continental, like I am every week looking forward to seeing this. And it's something that, if you were a fan of Star Wars, I would expect that you would probably at least...
Weekly put the statue out.
Yeah, put the statue out,
It's
Luke.
the best Star Wars character.
You need one with her white sabers.
We need a supercut of Luke doing that exact moment each week.
Be perfect.
Yes, her white sabers are the best sabers she has.
Game Lord over in the chat just says Space Jesus. I think I understand what he's talking
Gandalf the
about.
White. It's very similar to what happens with Gandalf.
In any case, the one other thing I did this week, I did 2 other things. I watched, we mentioned it earlier, Crapopolis. It's the new Dan Harmon show over on Fox. First 2 episodes dropped. Is an animated, geared more towards adult comedy. 20-minute, 30-minute runtime.
Animated crude comedy.
Animated crude comedy. It's not as crude as some of what Netflix has put out. It's still made for TV, right? Like it's prime time, but it toes that line of like what can it say, what can it show, pretty well. I think it's fine. It is, like Luke said, it's another one of those. I think Dan Harmon's writing is, it's his team of writers, he's a showrunner on this. I think his stuff is always at least fun to dig into. It's kind of set in like Mesopotamia, Greece, early.
It's like the first city.
It's like the first city, right? Like they're like trying to build civilization.
So it's just a ripoff of Year One, the Jack Black movie.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I forgot about that movie. Oh,
Never
my
saw
gosh. It was not good.
I gathered that from the trailer.
I still watched it.
You're brave.
Watched it.
That was back when, like, I was really into those scary movie parody films and stuff like that. Late high school, early college, where a movie doesn't have to have much taste. It just has to entertain.
No, I don't feel bad for you.
And then I grew up a little bit.
For putting yourself through that.
Sometimes you have to see the bottom before you can appreciate the mountaintop. I don't know.
I like the mountains.
I just tried to
They're
make
pretty
a
cool.
bad metaphor there. Anyways, look, this is one that I will probably not be like watching regularly. It's on Hulu and it may autoplay, and I may let it autoplay, but it's not one that I'll be like going back to like I am currently with the new season of Futurama and being like, okay, I'm excited to see what this new episode is. It's very formulaic and it does what it does. The other thing I watched this week was Elemental. Finally, I know that's not a new movie, but it is out on Disney Plus now. This was not what I was expecting it to be. This is a pleasant little immigrant story about fire the element of fire and that family moving to a place where fire doesn't really, belong, or like the city,
They moved to the
the
water
the
area.
Zootopia city, right? The Zootopia-esque city wasn't built with fire in mind, and so they're kind of always looked at as other and outcast, and the relationship that Ember and Wade, Ember and Wade build throughout the film is quite nice. It's pretty fun to watch for the most part. I think it's animated pretty well. Look, it's Pixar, right? Like, it's got a certain level of quality there. I don't think it hits quite as hard as some of Pixar's other films in terms of the emotional gut punches that they like to pull on you. Ugh. That said, I think it's still pretty approachable, and
It's like a dagger.
I think it's, for being more or less an original storyline, I would take this over, and this is a bad example, but like Disney's Lightyear, or I guess for Pixar's like Cars 3 or Toy Story 5. Like, I would take this over those.
Oh yeah, Toy Story 5 is happening.
Yeah. So
Scorsese's pissed.
Oh yeah,
it's
for sure.
He's gonna be picketing Disney Pixar. Tired of Toy Story.
Are you gonna join him?
This is probably for me.
Sure.
I think this movie falls at like a low fanboy worthy, maybe a high Matthew McConaughey. Like I said, it doesn't really do anything to reinvent the wheel. But it is fun, and I think that kind of immigrant story is one that hasn't been told by Pixar, at least recently. It kind of had like a what's the one with the mouse? It's a Disney movie. The
Ratatouille.
Mouse, the mouse that comes to America.
Stuart Little.
No, Fievel.
Fievel Goes West.
Fievel Goes West. It kind of had that kind of a vibe.
Little baby.
I was still on Disney Pixar, so I went straight to Ratatouille.
So I liked it. I think it's one that you could
Stuart
watch
Little's
with,
a freaking freeloader.
with your kids, and they will enjoy it for what it is. It's not quite as deep as something like Inside Out, but it still has that same kind of vibe. So
Nice.
Oh. No, I was just saying. At the end of the day, it's mostly a recommend.
Yeah.
For me.
Good. I got invited. The only thing I'll add that we haven't already talked about, I was invited by some coworkers to check out Payday 3 with them over the weekend. That came to Game Pass if you're a Game Pass subscriber. And this is a game where basically you are on a team. You go in, do a variety of different heists. There's armored vehicles, there's banks, there's art museums, there's all these things. I've only done 2 of the heists. The servers are literally like deconstructed at this point. They're trying to build new ones. But I was able to get into a few heists over the weekend. It was more fun than I expected.
Good.
It's a simple game. I mean, you're given a gun and a skill set, and you have to go in and like you hack things, or you like search an office to find a key or an extra safe, and like some of the mechanics are pretty silly. Like there's one where you have to like do safe cracking, so like you move the dial until like the bar around it starts to shake, and then it turns green, and you have to wait and leave it there, and then it goes check mark, and then you have to go back the other way. And if you accidentally hit the same direction twice, it starts it over because you've broken the combination code.
Yeah.
Things like that. So there's some pretty cool little mechanics. The gunplay feels fine. It doesn't feel bad, which I thought was surprising. The customization overall is pretty good. You can buy different paint schemes and paint cans and spray things however you want. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've played enough of it to give you a recommendation, but I'd say, what I played of it, it's a game that definitely has potential to be really fun with your friends. So if you have a group of 3 or 4 and you want to check it out, I think it'd probably be worth your time once the servers work.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Very cool.
It's a good time.
Very cool.
Have you watched any more of My Adventures with Superman?
I am on episode 5. So the last episode I watched was the Ivo stuff.
Okay.
Really cool. Very different.
The show is awesome.
Yeah.
The
Is season 1 over?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really good. It was awesome to get a Superman animated show again.
Yeah.
It was great to get a Superman anime.
Well, and I think I was surprised how good Jack Quaid is.
He's great.
Yeah, he's so good.
The 3 leads
are
awesome.
Yeah, they're all really good.
They're so fantastic. Also, like the last 4 seconds, it ends with a joke, and it made me laugh. It was really good. With Jimmy. It's fantastic.
Dude, Jimmy's hilarious in the whole show.
Flamebird. Flamebird is popping off. But yeah, that show was awesome.
Nice. All right.
I finished it a long time ago, and I just kept forgetting to talk about it.
Next week we will be reviewing The Creator. We've had a lot of hype on that, so hopefully you'll tune in and listen to our review of that. Go out and watch it.
What if it sucks?
Support. I mean, look, there's always a chance, right?
We can watch Fanboys.
Yeah, but I think I'd love to see The Creator do well at the box office and just
I would
remind studios that,
taking a chance is okay.
Taking a chance. And look, it's even a pretty measured chance. $80 million is not... it's a big budget for...
Well, it's scary because they have to pay over a percentage point now to their writers.
Right. Heaven forbid.
Oh, no.
So...
Imagine paying your employees. Oh my gosh.
We'll be excited to tell you about that, and hopefully you've watched it, or if not, we'll be able to convince you to go watch it, or maybe it'll be a cautionary tale. Who knows? Real quick over in the chat, Game Lord Master asks, any Starfield updates? I've really slowed down with playing Starfield, but that's mostly because I'm super busy on another thing that we've kept teasing for like 4 weeks now. I promise there will be more information at some point, but I'm still enjoying it.
I've still been playing it.
Same.
Yeah, I think, biggest update, I'm pretty far into the Freestar Rangers thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of talked to you guys about this last night. I did the Red Mile, which was one of the things that Bethesda was kind of hyping up.
It is kind of hyped up.
Yeah, it had some hyped up things behind it. And,
I thought I was going to be in my ship during the Red Mile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it was not that.
Yeah, it got explained to me, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds kind of neat. This is cool. I like this." I had even asked the question, can I bet on myself? Because I was gonna put some credits on myself. Because I'm definitely gonna win this thing. And then I started it, and I was like, "Yeah, I walk through this door, take this elevator down." I was like, "All right, cool, yeah, whatever." And then it starts, and you're kind of like, oh, that's what this is.
Did you have your boost packing leveled all the way up?
Yeah, I think so.
You could have just flown over everything.
Yeah, I flew over most of it.
I fought everything because I was looking for materials, and scanning everything too.
Yeah, I scanned.
I surveyed as much as that place as I could.
Yeah, I was kind of running around shooting stuff, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, I guess. Cool idea, poor execution, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that really annoyed me about it is you're getting hit by some toxic thing the whole time. These little things keep hitting you from really far away.
Yeah, they're spitting on you.
So
the bad
annoying.
Guy, the monsters.
I never saw one spit. I just kept getting hit.
I think they throw
globs of acid at you or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Otherwise, I've kind of just been doing everything I encounter.
Yeah. I think with Starfield, I do the most outside of just
so you still
things they give you.
You haven't completed the campaign yet.
No.
Yeah.
Or the main quest line, yeah.
I've done all the factions.
Mm.
I think all the factions are really fun. But for the most part, over the past week, I've been leveling up and just focusing on crafting. I'm trying to make my guns way better.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that by just going to a planet and getting resources and going to stores and buying the resources and doing researching and then crafting stuff and trying to level that up and then I'll run around and do like free star and Vanguard missions just to level up because you can do those so quick.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Like on the mission boards and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I think for me, like I've been, I don't know. It's hard to explain kind of what I'm doing right now because of the main quest line and like
New Game
avoiding
Plus.
And I haven't
spoilers and
beat it.
things.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the way I role played my first time through the main quest is different, and I think it's really cool. So yeah, I've just been enjoying my time with it. It's funny, I was telling you guys last night I downloaded Cyberpunk because I think playing a game like Starfield really makes you want to play more games like it, right? And Cyberpunk is getting its new update, and it looks like it's going to be really good, and it's really going to like kind of clean up a lot of what I view as critiques from me on it. And I downloaded, I made my character, started everything, and then I immediately was like, I just want to play Starfield. Like, so I just went back to playing Starfield. So, no, man, I guess my update would be I'm still playing it, still loving it.
Yeah. Have
I
you
think
built
it's a
a
great
ship
game.
yet?
Nope.
Interesting.
Why?
Your ship is so much better if you build it.
I don't know what I can say without spoiling
Yeah.
anything. Because, yeah.
I just also think it's funner to use a ship you built.
Because there's something you don't know that I know, and there's something you don't know that I know, and I can't say anything to either of you.
Do I get a Starborn ship?
I can't say anything to either of you about it. Oh, that's so funny.
Gamer Master says, I can't finish 2 of the factions due to bugs. Yeah, Lepke has texted me a few times. Some of the bugs he's getting are kind
Pretty
of
bad.
I've
wild.
had several game crashes this week that have been very frustrating.
They rolled an update out today. So
Oh, okay. Maybe check that.
addressing crashes and stuff.
Is this the EAT update?
I don't think so. It looked like it was stability and crashes.
And that like thing they put out where they're like, this is what we're adding soon. The thing on there that meant the most to me was
the eat button.
Eat button. Because
What, a buggy Bethesda
carrying
game?
food sucks.
yeah, it's
Process.
stupid. It's a waste of space.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I guess there's an end game thing that's like ship building is dumb, but
No,
No,
not
it's definitely not that.
Not at all. Not at all.
because like the ship that I have is like just decked out with stuff.
Did you base yours on a ship that you got from a quest or found and then like built it out, or did
My
you
ship
just,
is-
it's from scratch?
I went into the ship I had was just a stolen pirate ship.
Mhm.
Registered it. I deleted everything and built my own.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And it's honestly so much fun. And like I was even playing before I came over here, and I was like, you know what? It's time to build a bigger and a better one.
There
Because
was
you need a lot of money to do it.
there was one I found.
I have
on,
over 1 million credits.
Right, I'm asking for me though, because I don't have over 1 million credits.
It costs 200,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I should be fine.
And if you start with a ship you already have,
Yeah, you can
sell those parts, and that's a credit towards you.
Yeah.
So
You can also, if it has a engine that you already want, you can just keep it.
keep it. Yeah.
But
yeah.
like I was using an A engine. It's like I have that.
Gotta
leveled
upgrade
up.
that.
Part of
get those
the
numbers up,
reasons
baby.
I haven't built ships is I've been leveling all my ship skills.
Yeah.
Like, so that when I go to build a ship, I'll have access to things. Because
Mhm.
right now, like, I hadn't put any points into ships, like, at all.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel the need to. And so, like, I just fly what I have, and then I will build one when I have a few more things unlocked. Kind of the same thing I'm doing with outposts. Like, I haven't built an outpost. I just don't. I don't have any points.
I'm working on another outpost right now. I had not enough materials. It's very frustrating. Found the perfect spot. I was like, let's go. Here we go. Put down my diggers. No power. It's like, oh gosh. So now my next thing is to go to all the nearest stores and buy all the aluminum so I can build some wind turbines, baby. Let's go. Video games. I'm farming. I'm farming for space rocks.
Your ancestors would be proud.
They probably would.
I
Although
mean,
it's
you
not
just tell
wheat.
you just tell them that you're farming, and they'll be proud. Don't specify that it's in a video
I mean,
game.
if they would somehow, I'm talking to my dead ancestors, they'd be like, "You farming?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm farming space rocks." And people be like,
Whoa.
"What? Cheese? You're farming cheese?"
Oh.
But yeah, I do so much stuff that is outside of normal gameplay.
Yeah.
How far into the
I think I have
main quest are you?
150 hours in this game.
Oh my gosh.
And I think probably 90 of it is actual gameplay stuff, like normal gameplay. Like, what level are you?
43.
Yeah, I'm like level 39 or something because I'm
I'm
getting.
like 35.
I'm sitting in a menu just going, what? I want this one. I don't want this one. I want this one. I don't want. Or just like going in between planets, buying aluminum and tungsten so I can research stuff.
Yeah, see, and all I've been doing is like trying to upgrade my skills, and the only way you can do that is by leveling up. So I'm doing missions and things
and
like
quests,
that.
yeah.
Because I'm like,
Do you guys like the leveling up? I don't think I'm a big fan of it. I don't think it's bad, but I think it's too slow.
I think there could be
You're talking about like having to do challenges, to
better
unlock
ways
skills,
of
or...
getting.
Just like there's so many things to unlock, and at some point they just become necessary, but you have no skill points because it takes so long.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you should get a skill point when you finish a major quest, and then it should also have normal leveling up thing. Like if I beat a main storyline quest, skill point.
Like
if I
make
beat
it
a
a
main
reward.
faction quest, skill point.
Yeah.
Because even then it wouldn't add a ton of skill points,
No.
Yeah.
but it would give you just a little buffer.
Yeah.
I also was like, I was playing this one mission.
I have seen what he's talking about, the mining thing. Have you seen these? So you can get like 2,500 XP every 5 minutes
Oh my gosh.
with outpost mining or something like that. And I was like, what?
I'm too lazy.
Luke's the
to-
closest to that.
No,
I still haven't built an outpost.
Not
either.
even close. My outposts are extremely lame. My outpost is mainly because if you can put a ship landing thing there, so you can
So you
build
can fast
ships.
travel to it? Oh, so you can build ships at your outpost?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But it gives you all the faction stuff, whereas like if you're at Hope Tech, it's like here's the Hope Tech stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you're in New Atlantis, it's like here's Deimos and Strickland or whatever.
Right.
Whereas like if I'm at my outpost, it's like
Here's everything.
here's everything you've unlocked.
That's nice.
It's pretty cool.
But
That's very cool.
no, I was doing this. Have you done the cloning mission?
No.
Have you found the planet of clones?
No.
Okay, well it's very interesting, and I had to fight an enemy that was 20 levels above me, and I was like, oh, that was kind of hard. And I flew out into space, and there's a ship that's like 50 levels above me, and I'm just like, it's probably gonna have to wait. I got annihilated. It was very embarrassing. I was like the Denver Broncos.
So I did
Denver
come
catching
across.
strays in a
I came
Starfield
across. I
conversation.
came across a random like. I started going to the red planets like just because the main story quest does not take you very far outside of like just the kind of the small system where you start. Yeah, I stumbled across just this fleet of like 65 rank ships, and like a little activity mission came up that was like destroy the fleet at yada yada yada. I was like, let's go! Immediately, just instant killed, and I was like, all right, now
That's where
I
you
know,
put
like,
everything.
There's my skill check.
Here's my goal.
All your points dip in weapons, up in shields, and grav goes all the way up. Man, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, I've just been kind of running around doing what I do.
Yeah,
I'm at this point. I'm probably gonna start focusing on the story mission because, as far as like quests goes, all I have is activities.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably beat the game and then I'll probably go play Cyberpunk because I'm really excited to play
Phantom
that
Liberty.
update.
Because that came out today, didn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So probably in a week or so here.
And then you'll slowly migrate back to Starfield.
We'll see.
Maybe
Well,
not.
no, because Spider-Man will be out.
We'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen with Spider-Man because I honestly would rather try Armored Core just to experience it and play Baldur's Gate than play Spider-Man. I have things that are higher on the to-do list.
Yeah.
So,
fair.
But
Fair.
it's just too many video games.
There are a lot right now.
The
Yeah.
And
push
like,
to 2023
I'm not
that
upset
happened
that
is
they're all
rough.
good, but it kind of makes
Time
your
is
schedule a little more busy with all the
Yeah.
things you want to do.
Yeah.
No,
Because
for
like,
sure.
I want to watch this show. I want to go watch this movie. I want to play this game that takes 400 hours to beat. It's a wonderful life.
Crazy.
It helps that I single though. You have a wife and kids, both of you. So I don't have to deal with that. So
I don't know how
I don't
I'm
go
supposed
home
to
and be-
follow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
what to
feel
say
like
to
this
that.
is devolving. We should just say
I don't
watching.
I don't get off work and I'm like,
Thanks
man,
for
I'm really
listening."
excited to play Starfield, and then my kid's like, Wah! It's like, well, I guess I'm not playing Starfield. No, I just come home and cry because I'm not playing Starfield yet.
We should wrap this up.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week. We'll review a movie. Bye.
Goodbye.